So Michelle shared something with me when she signed up, and I want to share it with you guys because she's understanding something very advanced that's happening in her body, and not everybody can understand that this, or does understand that this can happen. So that's why I want to share this with you guys. So she said that her primary focus is to heal from the effects of mold toxicity and Lyme that have brought about an epigenetic expression of severe joint hypermobility syndrome. And she's getting a lot of dislocations requiring weekly chiropractic care. So first of all, Michelle, I'm sorry you're going through this, because with having that hypermobility syndrome and all those dislocations is absolutely awful to deal with. It's a whole level of hell that most people don't have to deal with, and you are having to deal with this in a daily fashion. But the fact that you understood that, you understand this is coming from the effects of mold toxicity and Lyme is very awesome to see, because we can be predisposed to hypermobility, connective tissue disorders, but it can take a great stressor to express those genes to actually get them activated and create a problem. So you can find people that are living in mold and or have Lyme, where they get these connective tissue disorders, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Something came along and triggered that, allowed that to express, to activate, and you already know that. And I wanted to share your knowledge with everybody in this group, because there'll be a number of people that will be dealing with the same thing but aren't connecting the dots. And you've connected the dots here, Michelle. And the only thing I wanted to add on here, for maybe you know this already, but for everyone, is to understand the role of copper and ceruloplasmin in connective tissue disorders. So what happens is when copper gets really low, copper is needed to make different enzymes to give strength and integrity to tendons. You'll also see, and you'll know this when the gut gets wrecked from mold and Lyme, is that often people will supplement DAO, diamine oxidase, to help get that enzyme that helps break down histamine. Well, copper, again, is one of those things that's required in order to make that enzyme. And ceruloplasmin, which you can get measured at any lab, is the carrier for copper to get that bioavailable copper out to the body, where it can be used and needed for enzyme production to create the strength in ligaments, tendons, connective tissue. Okay, so measuring ceruloplasmin, so picture it this way. Ceruloplasmin is the empty bus that transports all the copper kids out in the body where they're needed so that your body can be functioning properly. But if your ceruloplasmin's low, that bus shrinks, and maybe it can only hold, 1 or 2 kids are getting out. Okay, so ceruloplasmin holds 5 or 6 copper molecules, but I'm just using that analogy because if you don't have enough, well, consider ceruloplasmin's like my hand, and it hooks a copper to every one of these, and it goes out in your body for all those purposes I just explained. Well, if you have low ceruloplasmin, instead of having, say, 10,000 of these going out, you only have 2,000. It doesn't matter how much copper you have. If the ceruloplasmin isn't high enough, you can't get that copper out anyway. So if you have low ceruloplasmin or low bioavailable copper, you're not able to get that copper out to the body where it's needed for helping to make collagen and tendons and ligament and connective tissue strength. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind when you're dealing with this condition. And it's awesome, Michelle. Work on your mold, work on your Lyme, but I just wanted to throw out about the copper there, so that's something you could consider. And there's also a good copper group. I think it's called the Copper Revolution here on Facebook. And be sure to take a look at that too, because that helps a lot of people. All right.
Do you have questions about mold in your home or body? Book a consultation with Matt, aka the Mold Man, to guide your home and body to the next level of healing.